Hey YouTube. I want to say thanks to all my subscribers. Appreciate the comments. Appreciate you guys checking out my videos. Love to hear your comments on it. You've heard me talk about the influence China is putting on the United States and the influence of not just the United States but of China around the world. If you think back not too long ago, China was virtually condemned by the rest of the free world for its human rights atrocities. You may recall the events at Tiananmen Square. Just a few years after that, Slick Willie Clinton grants China most favored nation status. And I remember when that happened, I was completely opposed to that move, and nothing has been the same since. How can you go from a communist nation declared enemy of the free world to a global superpower that holds all of your debt, majority of your debt, in their hands? I just don't understand that. I don't know why there's not more coverage of the fact of what has happened and what is happening. I remember when I was doing my undergraduate studies at the University of Nebraska, one of my economics professors, and this was in the early 80s, one of my economics professors had mentioned that the United States was moving toward a service economy. I think one of the popular business books at the time was Megatrends 2000, and I believe it covered that. And I thought that, looking back now, how prophetic a statement that was when you consider the economic influence that China has over, let's just say, North America, including the United States and Canada. There have been some outright attempts in the past. For example, in the energy sector, China a couple of years ago, not too long ago, tried to buy Unocal Petroleum. It was blocked and not allowed to happen. So what China decided to do instead, rather than make an outright bid for a company, they just decided to invest in the infrastructure. And you will find now that a lot of energy companies receive funding from PetroChina, Sinopec, commonly referred to here in this country as PetroChina. If you hear them in the news, you're going to hear them called PetroChina. And by the way, I can't remember the man's name, but PetroChina's CEO received his petroleum engineering degree from the University of Southern California. He is a card-carrying member of the Communist Party in China, but be that as it is, the Chinese are putting so much influence on the economy, like I said, through the energy sector by investing into energy firms. The Chinese control major stakes in tar sands production in Canada. You'll recall earlier this year the Keystone Pipeline, which was shut down by Barack Hussein Obama, shut that project down, which would have brought Canadian tar sand crude to the Gulf Coast for refining down through Nebraska, the Dakotas, into Cushing, Oklahoma. There is an existing line there already, by the way, just in case you didn't know that, so it's not like this is something new that's not going on. But anyway, so when the Keystone Pipeline was nixed, Canada's going to sell the oil. And if that pipeline doesn't run south, it's going to run west. and it is running west. Chinese control major stakes in some of the tar sand production companies, and now they're working on getting their oil from the pipeline that is running west from the tar fields. So that oil that should be coming to the United States, to the Gulf Coast for refining, will now be going to China for refining instead. How we've let that happen, how we've let the Chinese come in, and you've heard me talk about this, where they're coming in now, and they're buying up large tracts of land and the U.S. government will grant them special economic status. They're buying into U.S. businesses. You've heard me talk about now controlling AMC movie theaters. They're coming in and they're now buying U.S. banks. I've mentioned that before too. If you do a little digging, you will see that there is so much influence in the economic sector by the Chinese. You wonder why the price of gold is going so high. It's just below $1,600 an ounce now. China has doubled, I believe it was last year, doubled the tonnage of gold that they were buying. I believe previously it had been about 200 some tons, and now it's 480 or 490 million tons of gold that the Chinese are buying. And there's a big run on a commodity, prices are going to go up, and that's what's driving it. Do some research. Learn for yourself. Be aware of the influence that Chinese are having. It's just baffling as to what's going on, and that there's not more people concerned about it. So again, appreciate you guys watching my videos. Appreciate all the subscribers. Want to hear your comments. Just my thoughts for Country Husker. Thanks.